Um, I just want to quickly give my 2 cents or 2 pennies on Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Now I'm late to the game as the movie came out in December and we're already in March. But I want to just talk about it for a bit. The idea of Rogue One and its box office success and its praise for me stands for something wrong with the cinema audience. I think what this movie stands for is that we have all become so used to mediocrity in our cinemas that we just accept it. I've heard a lot that Rogue One is a war movie. You know, you think of war movies, what's the first thing you think of? And that's Saving Private Ryan. That's war. It's bloody, it's gruesome, and you don't want it. You don't want to see it because you know that the deaths of these soldiers feel real and it is scary. Rogue One isn't that. Rogue One is not a war movie. It's just a Star Wars movie. There's no depth in the characters. There's no real motivation. There's nothing there. I went into this movie a bit hesitant and a bit, I was thinking I was gonna get a good movie probably. The first trailer, or one of the trailers, thought was excellent, and I heard good things about it, but I was still a bit hesitant because the things I heard about were from people who are huge fans of Star Wars, which means that they are blinded by their love of Star Wars, that they can't get past that. So I was hesitant, and went in, and the movie is boring because the characters are boring. The setups are boring. The action scenes are boring. There is nothing there that was visually just stunning or directed. It was directed well, but nothing that kept me interested. The moment I realized that this movie had no logic was when our main villain, forgot his name, but he was on The Dark Knight Rises, parks the ship outside Jyn Erso's house so far away that it gave Jyn Erso time to run away. And that's when I knew this movie threw logic out the window. And I know that's small, I know it's minor, but there are so many of these imperfections that just spoil the movie. It boggles the mind that you have Darth Vader in the movie, but you don't utilize him. Don't know why. Is there fear of using him? Have people finally realized that he's not the greatest villain in cinematic history? Look, I am a Star Wars fan. I'm not a fanboy. I'm not the biggest fan. I enjoy the originals. I enjoy The Force Awakens. That's about it. So when I came out that movie, I was disappointed and I was angry because the idea of them getting the plans is a great setup. You can do so many things with it. As people say, this is a war movie. You set those things up, you are going to get a great movie. But this just lacks anything of weight and value. First of all, we know what's going to happen. So we know they're going to get the plans. But that doesn't matter. What matters is the build up to that moment. In any of these movies, we know our heroes will survive. But it is that journey that we take with them that is the enjoyment of the movie. And for this, there's no enjoyment. Everyone is sad, everyone is dreary, no one has great motivations, no one has great arcs, the story is weak. And in film, story is king. You don't have a great story, you're not going to have a great film. The idea that we need this, the idea that Rogue One had to be made, I don't think anyone wanted it, but they had such a good premise of getting that Death Star plans. It's just so strange that they couldn't figure out a story to it. I was honestly halfway probably through the movie thinking of just leaving or taking a nap. I want to talk about the robot K2S20 or something like that. Many fans love him. Many fans think he's great. Many fans think he makes the movie. He is the worst character in that movie. Everything he says is just a reference to C-3PO. A reference. And this movie is just a reference. You can't base a movie of just references. You can't just have references in a movie. This movie had to be a standalone, and it wasn't, and it failed hard. I was very angry at this movie when I came out of that cinema. So angry. Because the praise it got, it just signifies that we are so okay with mediocrity that we just accept it and embrace it. Rogue One is disappointing, and there's no two ways about it. I honestly can't find any merit. I can't find any justification to watch it again. And this has put a sour taste in my mouth for these anthology movies. Granted, I will watch the Han Solo one only because of Phil Lord and the other guy. Because I'm just interested to see what they do with that. Other than that, no interest. I have no interest in a Boba Fett movie, a Yoda movie, an Obi-Wan movie. Because I just know, and I just have this feeling that it's just going to be references to old movies, references to phrases, references. Movies are so based on references that they just lose their integrity. It's a shame. It's a big shame, because this could have been something so different and something so grounded and so real and so heartbreaking. It just didn't work, and honestly, I didn't care that everyone died. I was happy because that meant the movie was over. Darth Vader looked weird. His helmet didn't fit properly, or something was weird about that. There was no interesting shots, no interest in cinematography, no interest in lighting. Nothing of interest was on that screen. It was just bland. It was just so bland. There was no mystic value. There was no joy in it. Disappointment. Just wanted to put that out there. Rogue One. It just signifies that we as an audience have accepted mediocrity, and we are okay with that, because the praise for this movie, it is mind-boggling, very mind-boggling. It's a shame. It's a shame, because mediocrity is not what we deserve. But yeah, we are eating it up. Oh well, I guess that's cinema today.